Hello everyone, and welcome to Readings in English. My name is Emma, and I'm thrilled to have you join me on this journey of exploring the English language and its rich tapestry of stories. English, a global language connecting billions, isn't just about grammar and vocabulary. It's a vibrant, ever-evolving entity reflecting cultures, histories, and human experiences across the globe. It's a key to unlocking countless worlds, from the scientific breakthroughs shaping our future to the timeless classics enriching our understanding of the past. Whether you're a beginner taking your first steps or a seasoned speaker looking to refine your skills, this channel is designed to help you connect with the beauty and power of English in a unique way. Today, we're diving into a captivating tale that perfectly illustrates the emotional depth and narrative power of the English language, the unexpected inheritance. This story follows Arthur Penelgon, a grieving widower, as he grapples with an unexpected inheritance, a dilapidated cottage in the English countryside. What begins as a daunting task of repair soon transforms into a journey of self-discovery as Arthur unearths family secrets, confronts his past, and rediscovers his creative spirit. Through its exploration of grief, resilience, and the power of human connection, The Unexpected Inheritance offers a poignant and rewarding listening experience, perfect for enhancing your English comprehension and vocabulary. Join me as we unravel this compelling story, chapter by chapter, together. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future readings. Arthur Penelgon lived a life dictated by routine. Each day unfolded with the predictability of a well-worn clock, its hands ticking off the hours in a monotonous rhythm. His wife, Eleanor, had been gone for 5 years, a void that time hadn't managed to fill. The silence in his small, neat cottage was a constant companion, punctuated only by the chirping of birds and the distant hum of traffic. His days were spent tending his small garden, a ritualistic act that offered little solace, and evenings were consumed by solitary meals and the muted glow of the television screen. He avoided social gatherings, preferring the company of his own quiet thoughts, though the truth was, his thoughts were mostly filled with a dull ache of loss. One crisp autumn afternoon, a letter arrived, breaking the monotony of his existence. The unfamiliar handwriting on the cream-colored envelope sparked a flicker of curiosity. He carefully opened it, his fingers tracing the crisp edges of the paper, a sense of foreboding settling in his stomach. Inside, typed in a formal font, was the news of an inheritance. A cottage in the countryside, left to him by a distant relative he barely remembered. He reread the letter several times, the words blurring slightly as he struggled to comprehend the implications. The news was unexpected, jarring, a sudden disruption of his carefully constructed routine. The cottage, it seemed, was in disrepair, a place of neglect and silence, not entirely unlike his own heart. A wave of apprehension washed over him, a feeling both exciting and terrifying. It was a challenge, an unexpected turn in the predictable path of his life, a possibility of change. He sat there, holding the letter, the weight of the unexpected inheritance settling heavily upon his shoulders. The silence of his cottage seemed to press down on him, as heavy and suffocating as the prospect that lay before him. He knew deep down that this inheritance was not merely bricks and mortar. It was a legacy, a story waiting to be uncovered, a part of his past that demanded his attention. The journey to the cottage was a blur of autumnal landscapes, the vibrant colors of the countryside, a stark contrast to the muted tones of Arthur's life. Ides. The car, a reliable but aging model, hummed along the winding country lanes, each bend revealing a new vista of rolling hills and ancient woodlands. The air was crisp and carried the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. As he approached the village, a sense of unease began to creep into his mind. He'd never been to this part of the country before. The village itself was small, its houses huddled together, their stone walls weathered by time and exposure to the elements. A sense of quiet permeated the air, a stillness that felt both peaceful and slightly ominous. The cottage itself stood at the edge of the village, half hidden behind a tangle of overgrown ivy. It was smaller than he had imagined, its stone walls crumbling in places, the windows dark and empty, like vacant eyes staring out at the world. The roof sagged in places, and the once proud chimney was now cracked and broken. A chill wind whistled through the gaps in the walls, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and decay. The garden, once meticulously tended, was now a wilderness of overgrown weeds and wildflowers. Arthur felt a pang of sadness, a sense of loss for what once was, a vision of what could be. He parked the car and stepped out, the cool autumn air striking his face. He approached the cottage cautiously, his footsteps crunching on the fallen leaves. The front door creaked open, revealing a dark and dusty interior filled with the scent of mildew and decay. He stepped inside, a sense of unease washing over him. The air was heavy with the weight of the past, the silence broken only by the creaking of the floorboards beneath his feet. As he explored the interior, he discovered remnants of a life lived, fragments of furniture, faded photographs, and scattered books, all covered in a thick layer of dust. He paused, his heart heavy with the weight of the past, the silence of the cottage echoing the silence within his own heart. Then he heard a voice, a woman's voice, calling out to him. He turned and saw a woman standing at the edge of the overgrown garden, her eyes curious and kind. "You must be Arthur," she said, a smile playing on her lips. "I'm Margaret." "I live next door." Margaret, a woman of indeterminate age with eyes that crinkled at the corners when she smiled, proved to be a surprising ally. Her initial offer of help was met with Arthur's usual reticence, a lifetime of self-reliance making him resistant to outside intervention. However, Margaret's persistent kindness, her gentle prodding, and her practical approach slowly chipped away at his defenses. She wasn't intrusive, but her presence was a comforting counterpoint to the oppressive silence of the cottage. Arthur's attempts at repair were, to put it mildly, disastrous. His inexperience with tools and DIY projects was evident in the haphazard nature of his efforts. He managed to break more than he fixed, his frustration mounting with each failed attempt. Margaret, observing his struggles, offered practical advice, her hands moving with a practiced ease that belied her gentle nature. She showed him how to use the tools, her touch firm yet gentle, her instructions clear and concise. She even brought over some of her own tools, a well-worn toolbox filled with an array of implements that suggested years of experience. As they worked together, clearing away debris and assessing the damage, Arthur began to open up. He shared snippets of his past, hesitant at first, then with increasing fluency. Margaret listened patiently, offering words of encouragement and understanding, her presence a balm to his wounded spirit. The work itself was therapeutic, the physical exertion a welcome distraction from the weight of his grief. Each nail hammered, each board secured, was a small victory, a testament to his growing ability to cope with the challenges life had thrown his way. The shared labor brought a sense of camaraderie, a connection that transcended their initial encounters. They worked in comfortable silence, punctuated by occasional shared laughter and brief conversations, their shared efforts transforming both the cottage and Arthur's emotional landscape. The cottage was coming alive, and so was Arthur. As the days turned into weeks, the cottage slowly began to shed its cloak of neglect. Under Arthur and Margaret's diligent care, the interior began to reveal its hidden beauty. The dust-covered furniture was cleaned and restored, the walls replastered and repainted, the floors scrubbed and polished. With each completed task, a sense of accomplishment filled the air, a tangible manifestation of their shared effort. The transformation of the physical space mirrored a transformation within Arthur himself. He was becoming more confident, more outgoing, and less burdened by the weight of his grief. Margaret's presence was a constant source of support, her gentle encouragement fueling his progress. During one particularly productive afternoon, while clearing out a forgotten cupboard, Arthur stumbled upon a hidden compartment. Inside, tucked away in a velvet-lined box, he found a collection of old letters and a leather-bound diary. The letters were written in a delicate, elegant script, their ink faded but still legible. The diary, too, was filled with the spidery handwriting, its pages brittle with age. The discovery sent a jolt of excitement through Arthur, a sudden surge of curiosity that overshadowed his initial apprehension. He carefully removed the diary, its aged leather cool to the touch. He opened it gingerly, the pages whispering secrets from the past. The entries were dated decades ago, revealing a story of love, loss, and heartbreak. A story that seemed oddly familiar, its echoes resonating with his own experiences. He began to read, the words drawing him into a world long gone, a world that was strangely connected to his own. The diary belonged to Eliza Beaumont, the previous owner of the cottage. Her entries painted a vivid picture of her life, a life filled with both joy and sorrow. Eliza's words were a poignant tapestry woven with threads of love, loss, and longing. She wrote of her passionate romance with a young artist, Thomas Ashton, their courtship filled with stolen moments and whispered promises. Their letters, discovered alongside the diary, revealed the depth of their affection, their words overflowing with emotion and longing. Arthur read through the correspondence, his heart aching with empathy for their lost love. He saw himself in their story, recognizing the pain of loss, the enduring power of memory, and the bittersweet ache of what might have been. As Arthur delved deeper into Eliza's story, he began to uncover a hidden connection to his own family history. He discovered that Eliza and his great-grandmother were distant cousins, a fact previously unknown to him. The diary revealed details about a family feud, a long-standing dispute over land ownership. This feud, it seemed, had played a significant role in shaping Eliza's life, contributing to her eventual isolation and loneliness. The more Arthur read, the more he realized the parallels between Eliza's life and his own. Both had experienced loss, both had struggled with isolation, and both had found solace in the quiet beauty of the countryside. The connection between their lives was more than just a shared ancestor. It was a shared experience, a shared human condition. Margaret, ever observant, noticed the change in Arthur. The weight of his grief seemed lighter, replaced by a newfound curiosity and a sense of purpose. He was no longer just repairing a dilapidated cottage. He was piecing together a fragmented history, connecting the past to the present. He shared his discoveries with Margaret, his voice filled with a mixture of excitement and wonder. Margaret listened attentively, offering words of encouragement and support. She helped him organize the letters and diary entries, carefully preserving these fragile pieces of the past. Together, they explored the hidden history of the cottage, uncovering secrets that had been buried for generations. The cottage, it seemed, held more than just memories. It held a story waiting to be told. A story that was deeply intertwined with Arthur's own life, a story that was slowly beginning to heal his wounded heart. The discovery of the diary and letters wasn't merely a historical revelation. It was a catalyst for personal growth. The act of uncovering the past allowed Arthur to confront his own grief, to acknowledge his loss, and to begin the process of healing. The shared experience with Margaret deepened their bond, forging a connection that was both unexpected and deeply meaningful. As they worked together, restoring the cottage and the past, they were also restoring Arthur's sense of self, his faith in connection, and his hope for the future. The diary entries revealed a heartbreaking tale of unrequited love and thwarted ambition. Eliza's passionate romance with Thomas Ashton, a talented but struggling artist, was a central theme throughout her writings. Their letters, filled with vibrant descriptions of their shared dreams and passionate declarations of love, were interspersed with passages detailing the harsh realities of their lives. Thomas's artistic endeavors often left them financially insecure, their relationship tested by poverty and uncertainty. Eliza, a woman of independent spirit and strong will, worked tirelessly to support them both, her strength and resilience a constant source of inspiration for Thomas. However, their idyllic romance was tragically cut short. A sudden illness claimed Thomas's life, leaving Eliza heartbroken and alone. The diary entries chronicled her grief, her raw emotions laid bare on the pages. She wrote of her inability to move on, her persistent longing for her lost love. The cottage, once a symbol of their shared happiness, became a sanctuary of sorrow, a place where she could retreat from the world and immerse herself in the memories of their life together. Arthur, reading Eliza's words, felt a deep empathy for her pain. He understood the intensity of her emotions, the enduring power of love, and the devastating impact of loss. The parallels between Eliza's experience and his own were striking. Both had experienced the profound loss of a beloved partner. Both had found solace in the quiet solitude of the countryside, and both had struggled to come to terms with their grief. Margaret, observing Arthur's emotional engagement with Eliza's story, offered quiet support. She understood the cathartic power of sharing and processing grief. She encouraged Arthur to express his own emotions, to acknowledge his pain, and to allow himself to heal. Their conversations, initially focused on the diary's contents, slowly shifted to Arthur's own experiences. He began to share his memories of Eleanor, his wife, his voice filled with a mixture of sadness and affection. Margaret listened patiently, her presence a comforting presence in his life. The shared exploration of Eliza's past had inadvertently become a journey of self-discovery for Arthur, a path leading him towards healing and acceptance. The cottage, once a symbol of loss and isolation, was gradually transforming into a space of healing and connection. Arthur's research into Eliza's family history led him down a rabbit hole of unexpected discoveries. He unearthed old land deeds, faded photographs, and dusty letters, each piece of evidence revealing a little more about his own family's connection to the cottage. He learned about a long-standing feud between two branches of his family, a dispute over land ownership that had spanned generations. This feud, it turned out, had played a significant role in shaping not only Eliza's life, but also the lives of his own ancestors. He discovered that his great-grandmother, a woman he knew little about, had been deeply involved in the conflict, her actions contributing to the division and animosity within the family. The more Arthur learned, the more complex the family history became. He uncovered stories of betrayal, resentment, and lost opportunities, all stemming from the original land dispute. The feud, it seemed, had cast a long shadow, its effects rippling through generations. He began to understand the weight of the past, the enduring impact of unresolved conflicts, and the importance of confronting difficult truths. The research was both fascinating and emotionally draining, forcing him to confront uncomfortable aspects of his family history. He realized that the cottage wasn't just a physical structure. It was a repository of family history, a place where the past and present intertwined. Margaret continued to be a source of support throughout his research. She helped him organize the documents, patiently listening as he shared his discoveries. She offered insightful observations, helping him connect the dots and understand the significance of the information he was uncovering. Their collaboration wasn't just about restoring the cottage. It was about restoring a sense of understanding and peace within Arthur's family history. The uncovering of these family secrets wasn't just about the past. It was about paving the way for healing and reconciliation. The cottage, once a symbol of isolation and sorrow, was slowly becoming a place of connection, understanding, and ultimately, hope. As Arthur delved deeper into his family history, he discovered a surprising connection between Eliza and his own great-grandmother, a connection that transcended the simple fact of distant kinship. Eliza's diary entries revealed a shared love of art, a passion that had been passed down through generations. Arthur's great-grandmother, it turned out, had also been a talented artist, her work largely unknown and unappreciated. Eliza's diary contained a sketch, a delicate drawing of wildflowers, that bore a striking resemblance to the style of Arthur's great-grandmother's known works. This discovery sparked a renewed interest in Arthur's own artistic inclinations, a dormant passion he had long suppressed. He began to rediscover his own creative abilities, finding solace and expression in painting and sketching. He spent hours in his small studio, surrounded by canvases, brushes, and paints, his hands moving with a newfound confidence and skill. The act of creation became a form of therapy, a way to process his emotions and connect with his family history. He found himself channeling Eliza's spirit, her passion for art resonating within him. He started to see the cottage not just as a place of repair, but as a space for artistic expression, a place where the past and present could converge. He began to understand the cyclical nature of life, the way in which family history, artistic talent, and personal experiences intertwine to shape one's identity. Margaret, always supportive, encouraged Arthur's artistic endeavors. She admired his talent, celebrating his progress and providing gentle guidance. Their shared work on the cottage had transformed into a shared creative journey, their bond strengthened by their mutual passion for art and their shared understanding of the power of the past. The cottage, once a symbol of isolation and sorrow, was now a vibrant space filled with creativity, connection, and hope. Arthur began to see the restoration of the cottage as a metaphor for his own personal journey, a process of healing, self-discovery, and artistic expression. Arthur's research into his family history culminated in a confrontation with the lingering effects of the long-standing feud. He discovered that the dispute over land ownership wasn't just about property. It was about deeply rooted resentments and unresolved conflicts. He traced the feud back to a series of misunderstandings and miscommunications, a chain of events that had escalated over generations, fueled by pride, stubbornness, and a reluctance to forgive. He realized that the feud had poisoned his family relationships, creating a chasm of mistrust and animosity that had lasted for decades. He decided to take action, reaching out to the other branch of his family. He wrote a letter expressing his desire for reconciliation and his commitment to healing the wounds of the past. The response was hesitant at first, but eventually a meeting was arranged. The meeting was fraught with tension, filled with years of unspoken words and unresolved emotions. However, Arthur's sincerity and willingness to forgive paved the way for a breakthrough. He acknowledged the mistakes of the past, expressing remorse for the actions of his ancestors. He extended a hand of friendship, offering an olive branch to mend the fractured relationship. The meeting was a turning point. The long-standing feud, which had cast a shadow over generations, finally began to dissipate. Arthur's courage and willingness to confront the past had paved the way for healing and reconciliation. He realized that confronting the past wasn't about dwelling on past mistakes. It was about acknowledging them, learning from them, and moving forward with hope and understanding. The restoration of his family relationships mirrored the restoration of the cottage, both representing a process of healing, renewal, and the building of stronger connections. The cottage, once a symbol of isolation and sorrow, was now a testament to the power of forgiveness, reconciliation, and the enduring strength of family bonds. The renovated cottage stood as a testament to Arthur's perseverance and resilience. The once dilapidated structure had been transformed into a haven of warmth and comfort, reflecting the inner peace Arthur had found within himself. The garden, once overgrown and neglected, now bloomed with vibrant colors, a reflection of the renewed vitality in Arthur's life. The interior, meticulously restored, showcased Arthur's artistic talents, his paintings and sketches adorning the walls, creating a vibrant and welcoming atmosphere. Each piece of art told a story, a testament to his journey of healing and self-discovery. The cottage wasn't just a house. It was a sanctuary, a space where the past and present harmoniously coexisted. Margaret, a constant source of support throughout Arthur's journey, was an integral part of this new beginning. Their friendship had deepened, their shared experiences forging a bond of mutual respect and affection. They spent countless hours in the cottage, sharing meals, engaging in lively conversations, and enjoying the simple pleasures of life. Margaret's presence brought a sense of warmth and companionship, filling the void that had once been so profound. Their connection was a testament to the power of human connection, the ability to find solace and support in unexpected places. Arthur's newfound artistic talent flourished. He held a small exhibition of his work, showcasing his paintings and sketches inspired by his experiences at the cottage. The exhibition was a resounding success, attracting local residents and art enthusiasts alike. His work resonated with viewers, evoking emotions of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit. The exhibition was not merely a display of his artistic skills. It was a celebration of his personal transformation, a testament to his ability to overcome adversity and find joy in the face of loss. The cottage, once a symbol of sorrow and isolation, had become a source of inspiration, creativity, and connection. It was a testament to Arthur's journey of healing, a new beginning, a place where the past and present converge to create a future filled with hope and promise. The scent of freshly baked bread mingled with the aroma of paint, creating a symphony of scents that perfectly encapsulated Arthur's newfound contentment. The gentle crackling of the fireplace added a comforting warmth, both literally and metaphorically, to the tranquil atmosphere. The cottage was more than just a house. It was a home, a sanctuary, a symbol of renewal, and a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit.